we'll go ahead and kind of start the AMA now. So I'm EJ. We are going to do this one in BC. And thank you, everybody, for taking the time. This is going to be a little bit of an overview of what we've kind of done with our vote for this week's burn tokens. We had 10 trillion tokens that we've been burning, 5 trillion. Last week, we burnt 10 trillion. They unlock every Thursday, right? So we put out the question to the community whether or not they wanted to stake these tokens, these 10 trillion tokens, and put them in the staking pools as opposed to burning them. Now, this wouldn't be every token that's locked into the future. Those are still locked. They're still slated for burn. It would just be the 10 trillion that unlocked today. They are still actually in the locked space. They have not been removed and not taken out to the contract owner's wallet. But according to the final statistics that we see, the question was posed earlier this week. What should we do with the 10 trillion EVRF tokens that are unlocking today? It looks like we had 358 total votes. Of those, the final numbers were 40% said that we should still burn the 10 trillion. 12% said that we should burn 5 trillion and allow community staking for 5 trillion. And then 48%, so the majority looks like they were leaning towards taking the full 10 trillion and then staking those in staking pools for the community. So we are going to go ahead and approve the fact that the community would like us to stake those 10 trillion tokens. The way that this process will work now, we are going to approve it with BrewLabs. So if anybody is familiar with their website, I will post that into the chat as well. It's BrewLabs.info, but I will send over the link to show what their staking pools look like. So the 10 trillion tokens that we will take from today's unlock will go into a staking pool via BrewLabs. I'm working with Maverick, their head dev, in regards to writing the contracts for the staking pools. It's a pretty simple contract in the sense of this is going to be the standard pools that people have seen in the past. So basically, we will take an amount of EVRF tokens. They will be put away in a locked address, locked contract. And what happens is as people stake their portion of their own EVRF tokens, they will receive an annual percentage rate or an APR on those tokens that are staked. So hypothetically, if there are 1 million tokens that are staked and there are 10 individuals that all each stake 100,000 tokens for a total of 1 million, everybody at the end of, say, the 30 days or the 90 days would in essence receive 100% APR on those tokens that were staked. I know we're going to open this up for questions here very shortly because there's been a lot of questions about security and all those kind of things. We're going to do this a little bit old school, and that's going to be our number one security factor. We're not going to get in right away to anything with the dynamic staking, which allows you to remove tokens early. That can cause some issues with insecurities to a staking contract. And at least that's my belief as far as what we've seen with other projects of allowing to swap pools and things of that nature. So we're going to do this very, very simple in the sense of we are going to do a 30-day pool, standard 30-day staking pool, and a standard 90-day staking pool. So there will be two pools that we're going to write the contracts for with Maverick. It should only take a couple of days, but we'll get the confirmation on the exact date that this will go live. The nice part about BrewLabs contracts, and we verified this with the other tokens that have used their platform, is that everybody that stakes will still receive their BUSD rewards. So that has been the most critical factor of all of the different vetting projects that we've looked at that will be doing staking. Most of them don't allow you to also receive your rewards when you stake because you basically have to build in another dividend tracker in that contract for the staking pools That's something that BrewLabs has already done. It's already been implemented with MetaBUS token or MetaBUS Bitcoin. So because of that reason, we're going to go simple. The 2 staking pools, we're going to make sure that there's not going to be the dynamic component of allowing you to withdraw at basically any time to increase the security. And then we're not going to start farming yet. The basic concept of farming is that you would also pair liquidity. And so you would put in your tokens and you'd put in BNB. We're not going to delve into that. So we're going to kind of get our feet wet with the staking pool for the EVRF community to start out. I did see about what will be the percentage for the 2 staking pools. Well, so APR, or the percentage that you receive, gets diluted. So as more people stake, the percentage rate that you'll receive at the end of the pool. So if it's 30 days, for example, and let's go back to the example of there's 1 million tokens that EVRF team has basically put into the pool that will be paid out as the annual percentage rate, right? If 10 people were to stake 100,000 at the end of the 30 days, everybody receives 100,000. Same example, but 20 people stake 100,000. Everybody at the end would receive 50,000 tokens. So in essence, your percentage rate has gone down, and this happens with every staking pool. So you're always going to see an extremely high percentage rate at the beginning. That's because there's less people that have staked their tokens. If there's 1 trillion tokens for staking, and the first person that comes in and they stake 1 trillion tokens, they would receive 100% of all the staking. But we know that that isn't going to happen. We know that there's going to be holder number 2, there's going to be holder number 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many holders there will be, that dilutes the percentage based on your ownership of, if one person put in 1 trillion and then the next person puts in, say, 100 billion, then the person that put in the most tokens will receive the largest share of the tokens that are going to be staked. The thought process, and this is still semi-pending, but I would say that it's about 90% confirmed, is the plan will be to stake 4 trillion in the 30-day pool and stake 6 trillion in the 90-day pool. So if there's any questions with that, basically it's going to be a higher percentage to stake the 90-day to start out. But keep in mind, as more people stake, it doesn't matter which pool, it'll become more diluted in the sense of what your percentage rate will be. So that's the overview. Staking we will move forward with BrewLabs now that the community is approved that those tokens can be used for staking. I will have him write up those contracts. And then most likely, it's because he has the contracts already, it's not going to be a very long time wait, only a couple days to be able to get it to go live on BrewLabs. I just wanted to wait until we basically had the full community vote and approval that that's where those tokens will be going to. Now, with all that being said, what questions, issues, worries, thoughts does everybody have, just mostly in regards to the staking process? Is there any questions? I could probably open this up. But if anybody wants to raise their hand, or if any of the mods or admins or anybody in general, this is a very open dialogue conversation today. It's going to be much more relaxed and laid back because, you know, this is an incentive, but it's also something that's new because we're kind of shifting what we're doing, those 10 trillion tokens. All right, Ted, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, all good, buddy. You?
Good. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm so busy at work at the moment. You're doing a great job for starters. I've only managed to get in on the end of this AMA, so I don't know if it's been covered yet. But I've just staked basically all my full bag with Corsac, and it takes like a 15% cut because that's made into the contract. Is it going to be the same with this?
So right now, the way that it works with some of these contracts is that it's still taxed, right? When you go in, so you're sending it into the contract address. I'm going to say that we're only going to do this if we can eliminate the tax. It shouldn't be that hard of a function, because it's no different than if I were to take your wallet and I were to turn off fees for your specific wallet. I've been going back and forth with Maverick, the dev over at BrewLabs, that we want to turn off all fees for the contract, that the contract staking address, but we want to leave on the dividend. So if you go into our contract, you'll see how that's written on the back end, that actually under write contract, you can put in remove fees in true bool, and then you can also remove dividends. We're only going to ever remove fees. We're never going to remove the dividends for anybody that stakes. And we've tested this multiple times. Yost, one of our board members, let me destroy one of his personal wallets playing around with it before we even launched. So we know that that works. And I've tested it with a couple of other wallets that I can turn off the fees. So that's going to be a critical factor, because we don't want people that are paying the or people that are willing to even stake their tokens, that they're going to have to pay the tax as well. It's a no-go. Like, fees will have to be off for anybody to be able to send it into that contract. It shouldn't be an issue. I've already confirmed it with Chris from MetaBUSD that theirs were turned off and they're still receiving rewards. So this has been tested, and that's part of the reason I feel most comfortable after the 4 or 5 different projects I've looked at that to implement this staking, that this is the best choice at this given intersection for EverReflect.
Okay, perfect. That sounds great to me. I'm just going to stake my whole bag then, if you allow me.
Yeah, and one thing I will kind of keep in mind is that we allow this to be a community vote that we're going to be burned today, right? So we have another 5 trillion that are coming up next week, and the 5 trillion the week after that, so on and so forth for, I think, another 17 weeks. I'm not saying that you shouldn't stake all, or that you should only stake half, or that you shouldn't stake any at all. But keep in mind, because we want this to be as interactive with the community as possible about how we should use those tokens, because my idea for it was to obviously make sure our liquidity pool is backing up the market cap and we were healthy above that 10%. We're there. So the 75 trillion tokens that are locked, in essence, really are community tokens. They're not EJ's tokens. They're not the dev team's tokens. They're not the board of directors tokens. It's the community tokens. And even though my initial thought was, all right, get it down to 400 trillion circulating supply, because that put us well below EGC and well below SafeMoon version 1. I'm comfortable with this adoption of new strategic moves that the community wants us to take with those tokens, because in essence, those 75 trillion tokens, they're not ours, they're the communities. And we can even put it out there as votes each week for those 5 trillion. I know early on in the white paper that we wrote, it was talking about how after we burn these initial weeks of tokens and lowered the taxes, that it would be left up as community votes, that how do we burn these tokens? Well, now it's kind of molded into, should we burn them or should we stake them? And we're going to keep having votes each week for what we should do with those 5 trillion. So it's critical to be active on our socials, but it's also critical that if you're a fan of the staking, there's potentially more tokens that can be staked into other pools, because we still have 75, well, it'll be 65 trillion, correct me, because we'll have 10, they're coming out today, but there's still 65 trillion tokens that are coming out every week that'll be unlocked specifically that week, that the community can really, we can get creative with this, and it could benefit a lot of people, especially those that want to stake. So
Yeah, sounds good to me, because the utility, the poo coin sort of thing, that's going to likely be burning coins, isn't it, as payment?
Yeah.
So
yes, and
we'll still be
will
decreasing supply.
Right.
And increasing my bag, hopefully.
Decreasing supply and protecting the liquidity pool. I love it.
Perfect. You're doing a great job, mate. I'll let someone else know.
Thank you, Ted. You become a good friend through this whole process, so appreciate hearing you. Appreciate you being here.
Cheers.
See you, bub. Any other questions? I didn't see anybody else that's raised their hands so far. There has to be a few more. I did post a video what staking is. There's a lot of different versions of staking, but we're going to go with, hey, Craig, I just unmuted you. We're going to go with the most simple and tested and tried and true for the first 2 pools. I think that increases security more so than anything because it's been done. You can unmute, Craig.
Oh, okay. What's up, EJ? How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm just up here at work. I just headed out real quick so I can ask you a question.
Yeah.
Will there be like a compound daily, weekly button with BrewLabs, or does that come with a dynamic staking that we aren't going to go with?
Oh, so you're talking about being able to basically take your rewards and basically compound them back into the pool?
Yes.
Yeah. So actually the nice part is that it doesn't have to be dynamic for you to still do that. So the only difference with the, and granted, I'm not a staking pro, and I tried to get Maverick to be on this AMA. And as soon as we end up going with the BrewLabs staking pools to go live with those contracts, I've already requested that Maverick will be in here because of the fact that he's kind of the staking expert on a lot of these things. But from my understanding is that with the dynamic, it just allows people to remove them early, but you can still do the compound even if it's the standard. So yes, that option will still be available that you'll receive your rewards. But if you don't want necessarily those BUSD reflections to just go to your wallet, you could recompound them back into the staking.
Awesome, man. I'm so excited for this. I'm so happy the community voted for staking. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was good to see that that many people took part in it. And then, I mean, obviously it was split pretty close when everything was said and done, but it's good to be able to see the interaction for sure. All right. Who else has any other questions? Any of the mods?
Real quick.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Hey, if you look at there was just a buy, it says buy Grimace coin. I don't know what that's about.
Oh, the Bobby Bybot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, with Bobby Bybot, that it has advertising at the bottom for everyone.
Okay.
So it has a variety of tokens that it's going to always be advertised on the bottom of that Telegram chat bot. It's not just ours. Like if you go look at Bobby Bybot and other Telegram chats, because I went in and looked at some other tokens and their Bobby Bybot, they all have Grimace token on the bottom. So,
all right. I know if somebody hacked the bot or not.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, the only recommendation is that maybe some of the admins that are in here is that we don't use Bobby Bybot, but I think that it seems to be one of those kind of like industry standards now. But that's where that Grimace token is coming from. That we can't get it off of there. Similar to what I'm seeing from other Telegram chats that they have Grimace token at the bottom of their damn Bobby Bybot as well.
Yeah, Sailor Man just said it's Bubble Bybot. Bobby Bybot broken.
Bubble by Bobby Boucher. Yeah. Which thank you to all you guys that are in here that are admins and mods, because you guys keep me on track with all of those things, especially in Telegram, because I don't know how all those bots and everything work, mostly due to the fact that I just don't have time to play with them. So much appreciated to Sailor Man, and I see a Key in here, and James and Dravo and EP and the whole crew. You guys, Gavin. I mean, all you guys do a ton of the dirty work, I guess you could say, of managing the Telegrams and the socials, and greatly appreciate for all of that. So. Any other questions, thoughts on the staking, questions about the staking? One thing I do want to highlight that, during the roundtable last night, that we are going to be doing that scholarship program for Morales and their academy. So if there's anybody that is in here that has any interest in learning Solidity and learning blockchain development, their programs are stellar. I personally have learned a ton from Morales. Their founder is Ivan on Tech. So if anybody's familiar with Ivan on Tech and see him, he speaks at a lot of the different crypto conventions, but is very well known on the social media, YouTube channels. We're going to keep doing that process of giving away one of those scholarships every Sunday. And it's a 300-word essay, just somebody, and honestly, it could be a little bit longer. It could be a little bit shorter. We just are making it a little bit of a barrier to entry for somebody to be able to show like, hey, I'm actually interested in Solidity, or I'm interested in blockchain development. This is why I would want this, this schooling or this education. And we're just buying those scholarships and those packages in bulk to hand out to the community of anybody that wants to go into development. There's no actual requirement that you have to use it for EverReflect. Like, this is something that we want people to get educated, and we want people to be able to take the knowledge and better their own lives. Because it's my true belief that I said it last night, you know, the internet was kind of one of those big shifts that a lot of us have seen in our lifetimes. But I think blockchain will be that next big shift, and how many things that we'll see in decentralized finance is going to become the mainstream and the norm versus, you know, what we experience today of our grandparents only had to use cash to now we almost use everything on a debit card, that our children and their children will probably be doing almost everything with a cryptocurrency that's all digital. So any other questions, comments? And oh yeah, I got your text, H unit. I kept this one VC today. I was running around today, and I'm a little tired, and I definitely don't have my I'm not the sexiest EJ today. So getting back to my place, I was like, we'll just do this one VC and record it, and we'll still post it with one of Noodle's stellar graphics onto YouTube. But
yeah, well, good to hear you. I guess you do sound tired.
yeah, I was up late. That AMA ended up running. Well, we started at 9. It ran until about 10:30. Then I stayed on talking to some of the other devs and the other guys and influencers and stuff until about 11:30. And then that somehow led into another conversation. And I think I was up till 1 a.m. And as you guys know, because EJ is old, I usually go to bed at like between 10 and 11. So 1 a.m. for me was like, shoot, I'm back in college, you know?
Yeah. Well, I feel you, man. I'm tired too. I got the baby today. Been running errands and all of that. But I did see the DeFi roundtable thing is going to be on the YouTube channel, right?
So the DeFi roundtables from last night are on Crypto Atlas, they're on MetaBUSD, they're on Mobile Trades, and they're also on EverReflect's YouTube. And those will be taking place every Wednesday. It's my understanding every Wednesday at 9 o'clock that Chris from MetaBUSD is going to end up hosting one of those. Some of the guys over the next couple of weeks will be some of the Tango Discord guys, some of the other tokens that have launched recently. And it was a cool space to, one, show everybody's faces together, because then it's kind of like, all right, these are alliances of people that are all friends that want to improve the space, and kind of show like arm in arm this concept of like, we're not all enemies. Like this doesn't have to be a fight to the death, and if your token isn't the last token standing, then you lose type stuff. Like, it's all a bunch of smart people, and it's all a bunch of people that are developing things in this world, in this bubble of BSC. But the coolest part about some of those people is that they're trying to expand outside that bubble. And that's what I'm super excited about. Like, it's great to have utilities within our own little ecosystem, but we're talking about utilities that can be outside real world and get other people into the crypto space. But yeah, I'm pumped. I'm sure we'll end up being invited back at some point. And if they ever need somebody that just can't shut up and needs to keep talking, they even said that after the end of the AMA. They're like, dude, I needed to interrupt you. I'm like, yeah, H-Unit tells me all the time. I was like, that's why we have a segment.
And I saw that they strategically, came to you last in every topic.
I know.
To allow time for everyone else to say something.
I know. He said he did that on purpose too. I was like, I knew what you were doing.
If anybody hasn't seen it, you should definitely watch it. It was some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, it was good. And then that's actually forged. Obviously, we already have a great partnership with Mobile Trades. Chris, who's one of our mods, has been working very diligently with some of these other influencers, but that's now opening up the space for us with Crypto Atlas. And that's another call, another partnership that we're going to be forging and working on. So as we kind of grow in our stability as a respectable team and as a respectable community and a respectable utility token, it gets the attention of some of these other influencers, not based on the fact that we're just, here's $10,000, review EverReflect. It's based on real rapport, real friendships that take a little bit longer, but then they actually get on board and they're like, I love the NFT ticket idea. So those roundtables are critical for us as a community, because that gives us to be able to be on a stage and promote EverReflect to, hundreds, if not thousands more people that might not know our little telegram. So.
Yeah, it was really good. You did a good job. I was very happy.
Thank you. Well, that's why I'm tired today.
Yeah. No, you're tired because you don't know when to shut up.
I don't know. Well, look, I was having a conversation about like the awkwardness and how some people have social anxiety and they don't know how to talk in front of groups. And I was like, my social anxiety is that if it's quiet, I don't know how not to talk. Like, it's the complete opposite for me, where I'm like, oh, there's silence. Like, I can come up with something to talk about. Like, you guys want to talk about quantum theory? Do we need to talk about ancient aliens? Like, I can tell you about what dog treats I bought for Brody. I mean, like, it doesn't have to be crypto, but I'll talk about something.
Yeah. That's why we love you.
Uh-oh. I don't know if I should unmute this guy.
Oh, Lord, who is it?
What's up, Sushi Cup of Destiny?
Hey, I think we need to get a Twitter account for your yellow kayak in the background. A lot more people got exposed to it last night. So
I tell you what, that Sun Dolphin kayak is definitely getting more exposure for promotions than what I'm getting paid from Sun Dolphin. I think I should reach out to them and see if they want to be a partner.
yeah, absolutely. We'll do a review on them. Be like, look, we're giving you a lot of play with this kayak in the background here.
Done. And as soon as it warms up here in Michigan, I'll get you some live footage of me on the river.
Yeah, I think we need to do another. I think you need to do another Sushi Cup of Destiny, though. Seriously, I thought that was just the funniest thing. Like, no joke. And then you sent me that picture. You look just wasted on sushi.
The funny part is that we would always bring in our own chopsticks and we'd always bring in our own bandanas. And now looking back on it, I'm like, how did they just not kick us out? But not only did they not kick us out, they would every year they would take a photo of our group. So if you go back to, it's like the west side of Chicago, and it's this little hole in the wall sushi all you can eat place. There's probably 4 or 5 different group photos from our core Sushi Cup of Destiny group that are still on that wall to this day.
Sorry about connected there for man. That was, I was dying with that. But seriously though, you did a great job last night, and that was really awesome to get all those people together. Yeah,
it is. It's what I go back to all the time about this community building and forging good partnerships. And, if somebody else can build a utility better than us, why go out and challenge trying to build the same utility? Like, just accept our token. And that sometimes takes a little bit longer, but we're going to end up having EverReflect tokens available on so many utilities as we keep building these partnerships one a week, you know, and keep launching them. Some utilities will be sooner than later, but, you know, we're going to do this with BrewLabs this week, obviously. DGEM is another great exchange that that we've built a partnership, and they're going to be here with us on the 25th as far as our having an AMA with the DGEM dev teams, and we're just forging those alliances. And you don't see a rapid expanse of partnerships like what we're doing. And I think it's a different strategy, but I've said it from the beginning, this was going to be a big part of the whole EverReflect strategy of building a rapport with just the team is one thing. Building rapport with the community, you have to expand it and scale it. Now building rapport with other projects and other dev teams, it's only going to make us much more of a force in this whole industry.
Yeah, those DGEM guys are great. I did a video for them last night, and they were just like so nice and so appreciative and so thankful. I'm like, man, you guys are so nice
and brilliant. I mean, some of their lead devs are just some of the smartest guys I've met in the space, and so that's what we want to keep doing. You know, John Maxwell's law of the inner circle, right? Like, surround yourself with other smart people. It only makes us better.
I felt like, sorry, cut off. I felt like an absolute idiot. I talked on the phone with Grimhorn for about an hour the other day when he showed me all around everything. And at one point he was like, I'm so sorry for, you know, I mispronounced a word. English is my third language. And I'm like, man, so you're like conducting this technical interview for an hour on like your third language. It made me feel so stupid.
Right. But they're all brilliant guys.
Yeah, they are.
Hearts, you know. It's those relationships are going to pay huge dividends. And as I say, I don't know exactly when that tipping point's coming, but I guarantee the tipping point's coming, and it's going to be massive because it's just going to compound just like interest does. And we're going to have more and more of these alliances, more and more of these partners will start recognizing us because of the fact that we're going to be only strategically partnering with great projects and great people. And it's no different with the Tango Discord. It's no different with mobile trades. You know, I have conversations with Crypto Zeus and with Crypto Atlas that are coming up. We'll see. I don't know those people individually yet, but we're getting the opportunity to now have one-on-one conversations and build rapport and see if they align with our values, because that's still going to be the most. And after speaking with Crypto Atlas last night, I don't think there's any question that they adhere to our values, but that's the part, you know, like the integrity of like the community of building up something that's not just for a quick B&B, something that can be long-term. And then what I will always go back to, what is our biggest, you know, the two biggest selling points for us with EVRF is we're a 17% tax token with 15% BUSD reward already. Like, yeah, so volumes could be down. Look at volumes over the course of a month of what people have done in 30 days. Like, start thinking bigger picture here. Like, volumes over 30 days for 15% BUSD, that's pretty darn good. Now start looking at it from the perspective of, I was just talking about everybody living in this BSC bubble, and it's great to have utilities that are in the BSC bubble. What we are is outside of that bubble. NFT ticketing is going to be something that expands the marketplace. It expands outside of just having to live on BSC, because now it's incorporating a world of live events and entertainment and sports and comedians and a whole number of things that are outside of just literally, we all do live in this BSC bubble, and it's trying to push our way outside of it to the mainstream society. Any other questions? No hand raisers, no admin.
I can see some questions coming up in the community chats.
Say that again.
We've got some questions that have popped up in the community chat whilst we've been talking. So for people that have not joined the AMA. So we've got, I'm just trying to find one that I was just looking at. We've got a question here from Epic Diamond Monk saying, when can we stake?
So we are, now that we have approved the 10 trillion, we have given the green light to BrewLabs. He is going to start working on those contracts because of the fact that they already have them. They're not cookie cutter, but they're cookie cutter, right? Because they're already doing this for MetaBUSD and they're already doing this for a couple other reward tokens. So turnaround time is going to be fast. I'm not going to give an exact date, but I will guarantee that we'll have some sort of specific information on our AMA Sunday. So Sunday-ish time frame, but we can't give, I can't say that it's going to be exactly 24, 48, 72 hours. But now that the community has voted to approve it, now it's just a matter of let's transfer over some BNB, upload the contracts, and then put it live on the BrewLabs staking pool, which I posted that link. So you can kind of see that they already have earned BrewLabs, earned SVT, earned MetaBUSD, KOD. So the process is pretty simple now. Now it's basically me just moving. Now those tokens have also unlocked because I have to move those 10 trillion tokens out of the contract, out of the pink lock into the contract address, into the new contract address for the staking pools. But that's what I'll be working on basically tonight and then into tomorrow through the weekend. But it's not going to be an extremely long period of time.
I've got another one for you from Gavin, who wants to know what the staking reward rate is.
Well, and kind of like I explained before, so staking rewards, there's never going to be a set APR. The APR gets diluted. So what I was saying before, using the simple example of 1 trillion tokens, and we put in 1 trillion, the EverReflect is basically saying that this will be paid out as an annual percentage rate to all of these staking holders. So if there's 1 trillion and we have Dravo comes along and he stakes 1 trillion, that means that at the end of the 30 days, if he's the only person that ever stakes, Dravo will receive 100% of all those stake tokens because he was the only staker. But we know that life isn't perfect, and my dad comes along and he decides that he has 1 trillion tokens that he also wants to stake. So now the pool has become diluted. So now we have 2 people, a total of 2 trillion tokens that have been staked, that at the end of the 30 days have to split 1 trillion tokens. So each of them will then take 500 billion. So they basically received 50% of all the stake tokens, or 50% of what they had staked. Perfect world, right? No, never. So now 8 more people come in. All 8 also stake 1 trillion. There's 10 trillion tokens that have been staked for a pool of 1 trillion tokens. Those are all split up. Everybody receives 10% at the end because everybody has staked the exact amount, or the same amount. Now, we all know that none of us hold the exact same amount. So if a person has staked 100 billion and the next person has staked 200 billion and the next person has staked 250 billion, those are all going to be different percentages based on how long they've staked it for, if they all got in at the very beginning of the 30 days. So then it gets diluted depending on when you entered the staking pool. And then it also gets diluted by the number of people that are staking tokens and the number of tokens that they're staking. So it's a very complex, it's not super complex, but it's just basically a simple math problem. But always know this, that if you're ever staking, doesn't matter the token. All staking is that you're saying that there's tokens that are locked away somewhere. I'm going to get a percentage of them at the end. Hopefully I have staked the most, more than Dravo and more than my dad. But we all know that more people come in. So that's why you'll see APRs, they'll start out at, say, 10,000%. Because you staked, 100 billion and there was 1 trillion that were available. But by the end of the 30 days, it's never going to be 100. It's never going to be 10,000%. Usually it probably, I like BrewLabs in the sense of that it shows the APR currently where it's at. And you can see the variations of certain ones, because you can see that 17%, 18%, 16%, 11%, 65%, 9%, 15%. we're just going to do 2 standard staking pools. One will be 30 days, one will be 90 days. The 30-day pool will back it with 4 trillion. The 90-day pool will back it with 6 trillion. So right out of the gate, staking at 90 days gets you a higher percentage rate than staking it for 30 days. Just kind of simple math. We're not going to do anything dynamic. We're not going to do anything farming based on some apprehensions of certain security things. So we're kind of sticking old school. But secondly, staking is new for a lot of people. And we don't want to make it too complex and give too many options, because let's just get this education portion out of the way of like, that's what staking is. This is how you do it. And your tokens are just locked for the 30 days. There's no, there's none of this trying to switch pools. There's none of this dynamic releasing your tokens early. And with the contracts through BrewLabs, you will still receive your BUSD rewards.
BrewLabs makes it really easy too. I mean, you really just connect your wallet and pick your staking pool, and I mean, it's so easy with BrewLabs.
And it's a good team of devs. Like I like the guys over there. Going back to partnerships, and because of my friendship with Chris from MetaBUSD, I trust him because there's so much in this space that you have to trust your partners and you have to trust people. And he's turned me on to BrewLabs. I've had multiple conversations with their devs, and that's why we trust them. So that's really where it comes from. And because we already know that they have multiple tokens being staked on their platform, it gives us a little bit more trust of security of being able to use that platform. That's my personal opinion because of the fact of what I've seen on other platforms and with other attempts at trying to modify staking. Were there any other questions in the chat, Dravo?
Just one that I picked out, which you've actually answered, but I'll still just raise it just in case they're listening in. And this was, will there be any unlocked staking? Well, you clearly just explained that there won't be, but it was a question that was raised. And clearly they're looking at the fluidity thing.
Not these first 2 pools. So let's get our feet wet. Let's test this as a community. We're taking the 10 trillion unlocked tokens, but opening this up for additional community dialogue. We have more tokens that will be unlocked, 5 trillion every week. So there's literally, we could add more tokens later to those staking pools that are already in existence. We could make new staking pools. We could potentially do farming pools. So this is just a slow introduction. Like, I think everybody kind of is starting to realize my personality. Like, I'm going to be strategic. I'm going to test it. I'm going to make sure that these are the partners that we feel the most secure utilizing and working with. It's all based on doing it safely for the token, safely for the community. And the other thing that goes along with this is that we want to make sure that the community is not surprised or shocked by any of these moves. Like, we're giving everybody a week, a few days. We did the vote for 4 or 5 days because we want to give people the opportunity to be able to, in reality, adjust and get their own head wrapped around what we're doing. Well, what up, Coach? You should be unlocked to speak now. You couldn't get enough of me, could you?
How you doing?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Well, it's funny that you're talking about staking because a week ago Sunday I did a class almost 2 hours long on it, and the what y'all picked is actually the safest form of staking there is. It's the most long-term residual there is. The other ones take a little more active participation.
Right.
And what you did, it's safer because the other ones dilute, and farming, a lot of people don't realize it, but farming leads to disaster a lot faster.
There's a lot of risk.
If you're not an active farmer.
Yep. If
you're one of those people who put it in there and forget about it, well, you can lose your equity really quick.
Right.
So no, you're in old coach's opinion, anyhow, you're doing the right thing. A simple staking program, giving them a lump sum, saying this is what we got.
Yeah.
Pools get diluted. That's the earliest ones are the best ones. That's the way it is in crypto. Period. But
right.
Yeah, y'all doing a really good thing. I'm glad to see you taking it that direction.
Well, thank you. And that's great, actually, coming from your expertise and you even teaching classes on that security is an issue. There's nothing is 100% secure, especially in this world that we live in with the amount of brilliant people that try to do nefarious things. So even from an education, more simplistic method, that's why we're going to just implement the standard staking 30 and 90 days, do it with those different rates of 4 trillion and 6 trillion, let people get their feet wet with it. And then, like I said, we have 65 trillion more community tokens that if we decide that we don't want to keep burning those, we can put it up to community votes. It's going to be interesting if we put up another community vote, because now that, the stakers won this round, it'd be interesting for next week if we put up the 5 trillion again. Like, should we make another staking pool with those 5 trillion, or should we burn them? The burners might win out, but it's democracy. Like, that's the best way I think that we can go about this, is try to make community involvement to the best of our ability, because then it shows that we're going to be transparent with you guys, but also we need involvement from the community, because it makes us all healthier, stronger, more knowledgeable. And then that way we're all getting educated.
Well, like I said, when people do good, I usually try to tell them they do good. They do bad, I just don't say nothing. So
I always appreciate talking to you, Coach. Always do.
You're a joy to listen to. If you weren't, I'd just hang up. So it's either way.
You would too. I know that.
Yep.
That's great.
But you guys, it's good to see. I was in the middle of AMA last night in our Discord, so I didn't get to watch the roundtable.
Yeah.
But and my days are so busy, I can't sit around and watch it.
Well, can you tell me what you told me on the phone earlier?
What you and I were discussing
in regards to the roundtables. What you mentioned about the future of.
Well, no, I don't. You know me, I don't steal nobody's thunder.
Okay, all right.
I just don't do that. Somebody else. This is somebody else's little project, so I'm gonna let them have all their thunder.
Okay.
So.
Well, if you can decipher what we had just said there, I will say that I love the Roundtable project. I love the Unite DeFi projects. And I think that knowing the people that are getting on board with it last night was just a drop in the bucket of where this is going to expand to.
Well, it's if you get a couple of hundred projects involved in a movement like that, and they're all devoted to education and safety in the space is going in that direction. It ain't got no choice, because the ones who aren't going to sell a thing.
Well, and did you hear what we did last night? How we're announcing that it's a 300-word essay, and every Sunday we're going to give away a scholarship to the Morales Academy for a year, so people can get it.
About that a while ago.
And I know we're both big fans of Morales, and
oh yeah, they're good. They're I've got one of their I forget what they call it, but I got one of them running on my computer for tests that I do all the time. But they got so much free stuff, you don't even have to pay for nothing.
I know.
And the free stuff, I'm one of those people want to know why it works. I don't want to listen to somebody talk about it.
Yeah.
I like going everything apart to find out what makes them work. So no, Morales is excellent. I think that's an excellent thing. I think for somebody who has the time, it'd be excellent. For somebody who does, it's going to be kind of I think you asking them to write something shows a commitment to the time. That's a good idea.
Yep. Yeah. It shows a little bit of effort that you want to put in, that you want to, because it's not for everybody. Like, and this is one of those giveaways that a lot of people are probably going to be like, shoot, I don't even want to win that. But
well, like
you know,
it's
people
like
out there.
something for nothing. There ain't no value in it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work a little bit for it. It means more to you.
Yep, without a
And
doubt.
that's everything in life. That ain't just crypto. That's everything in life.
Yeah, right. Hands down.
So anyhow, I just wanted to say I'm proud y'all are doing the staking. I think the burns still need to happen because of to balance market cap to LP. Because I did a 3-hour class on that as well, explaining that to folks, and that especially 1 quadrillion coins, if they don't burn regularly, it takes a long time to erase zeros.
Yeah.
So, but y'all are doing a good thing by staking and burning. So, it's I don't know. Do you have a buyback and burn mechanism too?
Nope, we do not. I'm not a big fan of the buyback and burn.
Well, I like it. I like it for a only because it gives a rapid increase to the LP.
Yeah, right.
That's the reason I like it. If you can do, but you don't have a big enough LP. That's the reason I was concerned about yours.
Yep, and we incorporated something last week that we're calling the Dad Wallet, and that is managed by the one, the only, Mr. Frederick Balf Jr., and he will always manage that wallet. All rewards from the Dad Wallet are going to be converted into BNB to buy EverReflect and then burned.
Well, that's basically a buyback and burn mechanism anyway.
Right.
You're adding the liquidity, but not adding tokens. So
right, exactly.
That's a good deal. That's a really good deal.
Yeah, it's a nice little bonus that I think our community member, I can't remember who it was specifically, that came up with it, and we're like, yes, I love that idea. Let's incorporate it.
Tell him I think he's a pretty smart fella.
He is. And I'm glad that we have a smart fella in my dad that's going to be managing that. So,
well, I hadn't met your dad. You've talked to him, but I ain't never met him.
I told him you guys are going to have a conversation here soon. Might have to take a little trip to come and visit you, and maybe you guys can go bowling together.
Oh, that's right. He is a bowler too. That's right.
That would be funny. Maybe we'll live stream it.
Oh man, I hadn't bowled 40 years.
I'm not a good bowler, so
I got bowling balls though somewhere. I don't throw nothing away. I buy good stuff and I buy stuff, so I don't throw it away.
I have a sneaky suspicion that Dirty Mike is a bowler.
A what?
Do you bowl?
No, I just bowl casually. I'm actually a disc golfer more than anything, and I actually play in a basketball league. But disc golfing is like my favorite thing to do.
Oh, that's right, you do play basketball leagues. I remember you telling me that.
No, but I have been known to bowl from time to time.
It was a big deal when I was young, but I ain't been young a long time. So,
well, challenge accepted. So, with that, thank you, Coach. As always, appreciate you taking the time out of your busy. I know you have an extremely busy schedule to always pop into our AMAs. Any other questions? Anything else on the staking? If there was any other questions in the chat, I'll try to pop in there before my next call this evening. But thank you.
I actually missed the beginning of this, EJ. Is this cool if I make a video releasing the information on this?
Yeah. So the community has approved the 10 trillion tokens that were unlocked this week that we will be staking them through BrewLabs.
10 trillion.
And that we will be doing 2 pools.
30 and 90 days.
Yep. Standard staking. Won't be able to release them early, but you will receive your rewards. And yeah, it'll be a nice I guess, like I said, getting our feet wet in the staking world. So I see Pops unmuted himself. What do you got to say there?
EJ.
I was just gonna say, you know, the old coach and the other bowlers and golfers. It looks like I could win the senior league on this thing.
Yeah, because you hit from the forward tees.
Well, that's called the senior tee, by the way, buddy.
Yeah. It's called cheating.
You earn them.
It's called you hit from the white tees like a man.
That's a perspective.
Hey,
Well,
hey, coach, don't you have an AMA, coach?
Well, I'm not going to let you. I ain't going to let you beat up on us old fellers.
Oh man, then I'm not sure we should ever live stream Dad and I out on the golf course.
That would be funny.
You know, though, I used to be able to kick his butt back in high school, and I would say in the last 20 years, ever since I took up this marketing live event stuff and now getting into crypto, he whoops on me pretty good.
You've gone soft.
Yeah,
I told you about my one golfing experience.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't. I didn't like the way my knees felt or my lower back felt after I was done. I was killing the ball, but it just didn't feel right.
Yep.
I said, this ain't for me. I ain't gonna cripple myself swinging a golf club.
Yeah. It can wear on your body more than what people sometimes realize, but it's definitely my favorite sport. We'll have to do something at some point. I would like to get into the it's already in the white paper, but to do stuff that's community related.
I do canoe trips, like 200 or 300 mile trips. Now, if you want to, those are fun.
You want to do what?
I said I do canoe trips.
Oh, well, I have a kayak.
Well, you know, you can't pack much in a kayak, so you're gonna go hungry on a 200-mile trip.
I mean,
good Lord.
We'll have Dirty Mike call our contacts at Sun Dolphin, see what they have.
Yeah, we'll get them to sponsor the event. It's going to end in all of us drowning, though, unfortunately.
I mean,
I won't drown. Yeah, I might even throw a rope to y'all guys, so y'all don't drown too, because I don't want to have to explain it when I get where I'm going.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like EJ and Mike were there when we started. Where did they go?
Yeah, what happened to those two?
I got a racing canoe. It's cost a little over $4,000. And then I got a couple of more I designed and built out of carbon fiber and aramid. And then I got one that I designed that I haven't built yet, but I'll get around to it one day.
I mean, you see my kayak. There's no racing involved.
Well, I build them for different things. The racing one was just because, well, I never had a racing one, and it just ain't. I enjoyed it because it's very quick. But if you're not used to sitting in one of them round bottom canoes, you're going to spend most of your time upside down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking to EJ about. I can't keep balance with canoe. I'm 6'3", 240, and man, I can't keep my balance on those things.
Well, it's all in your lower body stays still and your upper body moves. And then when you start moving your lower body, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like in a rocking chair. If you do it right, you're centered in the canoe the whole time. If you're moving side to side at all, well, you're just going to be upside down.
Yeah, I'm too flaily for that kind. I flail all around.
Yeah.
Well, and if you'd like to join Tango Crypto Tier 2, next week, Coach will be doing a class specific to proper balance within a canoe and or kayak.
Them boys, they keep me busy enough with crypto. I don't know. I'm talking about canoeing too.
That's Tier 2 material if I've ever heard it.
Now I do a visiting with Coach on Sundays about every other week, and we just visit about any old thing there. So that'd be a good spot to talk about canoeing.
Maybe I'll pop in there and ask the question.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do one this Sunday or not, because I did one last Sunday. I might wait a week and do another one next Sunday. It's in the general chat. I do that in the general chats because those folks don't get to talk to me much. I'm always stuck in a Tier 2 chat.
Yeah. We'll be giving away that first Morales scholarship this Sunday during the AMA, and then One note with that essay that if you write it, we will be reading one essay. I won't indicate who the person is that wrote it, but I think it's important for the community to hear, what an individual that's within our core group thinks in regards to wanting to learn blockchain development. So I'm excited for it.
Well, if they really, I would love to read them all, be honest with you.
Yep.
If there's any way I could get copies of them, I sure would like it.
Yeah, I don't think that shouldn't be an issue.
So, but, I mean, I don't want nobody, feelings hurt about it.
No, I'll just confirm with whoever wrote them, and
yeah, I mean,
that it's not going to be all public information, but we'll pass it out.
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay with it.
Because it's just a curiosity thing, because the way I see the future with blockchain technology, I'm curious what other people see too.
Yep. Yeah, agreed. And that's where I'm excited to see where this can go. And we're going to do it for the next few weeks in a row and test it out and see if it works. And I think that we're going to find some pretty cool people through this process that want to learn.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. Whoever your winner is, I'll pay a month membership to tier 2 for them too. Whoever you pick to win each week.
Okay. Done and done.
I'll pay their first month membership to tier 2.
I love that. Thank you.
Not a problem.
That's the idea of pushing out the goal of education. So it's big.
You guys picked the winner. I just want to read them. That's all.
Yep. Yeah, but, done and done.
I'll call that my fee for reading them. How's that?
Deal. Done and done.
Right. Sounds good.
All right. So is there any other? Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or anything else that anybody has? If not, we're right about the 1 hour mark. I'll pop into Telegram here shortly and just see if there's any other questions that anybody didn't ask on the AMA. But
EJ, I just want to say hi, man. I haven't been in your AMA.
What up?
Sorry for being absent.
Yeah, because if everybody, Irish Grandma Hands, one of our admins, mods, one of the greatest human beings, honestly, in this crypto space, but also working on a project with Dive Wallet. So there will be more information coming out about that as well. And we're excited about what those guys are trying to do. And it's Irish Grandma Hands is just one of those guys that everybody falls in love with them. So appreciate you being here because I know you are busy.
I'm glad I found a fit, man, because I'll tell you, as an electrician, I was always getting the talk from the boss about, productivity, and I like to chit chat and get to know people more than I like to install electrical gadgets. So
crypto was made for you.
Yeah.
What's up, Mike? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man. Great job yesterday, man. If you guys haven't watched the Dive Wallet on Dirty Mike's Dirty Dozen, they killed it. It was so much fun. You guys got to all check it out.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you, Mike, if you're looking for more projects, let me know on the side, and we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, I definitely am. Send me send me a message.
Okay, cool. And EJ, right on, man. I really appreciate that you're trying to always find ways to make your project more attainable and friendly and more robust, man. It's really cool. So I'm always out there championing for you guys,
And it's the same with you. Like, I mean, in the Dive Wallet Telegram, Irish Grandma Hands is single-handedly running a lot of their promotions and giving away EverReflect. So it just shows what an honorable person that he is, but how awesome that is that we have that kind of, those types of people in our community. So thank you.
You can click on any individual person and, at least in Telegram, and it'll show you your shared groups. And it doesn't take a genius to realize that there's something in common with all of us. And we love our reflections tokens. And, you can fall in love with the coin or the community. And I opt to go with the community. And the more I look around, the more I'm seeing the same familiar faces of positivity and good influence. Good. And they're just all over the place, bro. It's a blessing.
Good. That's awesome to hear.
Hey, EJ, and Irish Grandpa Hands is the newest Matthew Stafford fan. So we talked about that a little bit in the TJ. So I love that he likes our man.
Say hi, Justin.
Hi.
What up?
That little Justin, he's the one who's drawn that or coloring that dinosaur that one time for you.
Oh, that's cool.
He's got his first day of T-ball today.
Dude, that's awesome. Go. That's cool that you're already into the sports and team sports. So good luck, bud.
He said, good luck. What do you think, Justin?
Thanks.
Right. He's on the Cardinals, so he doesn't know what to think yet.
Well, with that, I think we can go ahead and close out this AMA. Thank you, Irish Grandma Hands. Thank you, Dad, Drabo, EP, Yost, Aki, Holden, Epic Diamond Monk.
So just a shout out about the competition that we're going to start this evening.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know that there was one. That's why it's amazing the people that we have working on this team, because you definitely tell us. Go ahead and make the announcement.
Right, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The competition will start. It's to run for 7 days and will obviously end at 7 p.m. EST in a week's time. And a draw will be made the following day to announce the winners. The competition is a 150 billion EVRF airdrop split between 3 winners. And basically, anyone that buys EVRF over that 7-day period, if they buy a minimum of 0.2 BNB, they will be entered into the draw. There is no limit on how many times they can enter. So if anyone wants to make multiple buys of 0.2 BNB, they're more than welcome to do so.
That's awesome. Good. I'm glad we got all those logistics worked out for that promotion. So from now for the next 7 days, there will be 3 winners that will be airdropped 50 billion. I'm sure that you and EP and the rest of the graphics creative types that are in our core are going to be posting some information about it later. So thank you guys for once again always doing these amazing promotions to benefit the community and then just to get active engagement. So it's awesome. So with that, thank you everybody. Appreciate your time this evening. Our next AMA is going to be scheduled for Sunday. We will have additional announcements in regards to those BrewLab pools. Hopefully some very positive information about when people will be able to actually stake those tokens now that we've approved the 10 trillion. And we will be announcing our first Morales Scholarship winner. So have a great evening. I will talk to you guys all soon. And thank you for your time.